Have you been hanging and banging, brothers and sisters? Have you been in the gym, pumping that iron, and getting yourself in top shape? If so, you need to fuel your body, and nobody can do it better for you at a better price and a better quality product than our friends at Best Price Nutrition. That's bestpricenutrition.com. 1-800-499-4810. They got free shipping on orders over $99 in the USA. They even have a 30-day return policy. Ladies and gentlemen, Best Price Nutrition is where it's at. Schwartz Sports Memorabilia is your leading source for all your sports memorabilia needs. From autographed jerseys and helmets to balls, Funkos, photos, and more. They conduct hundreds of in-person signings with the likes of Barry Sanders, Floyd Mayweather, Larry Bird, and many more. In addition, Schwartz Sports offers an exclusive line of mystery boxes available online at schwartzsportsmemorabilia.com. Once again, that's schwartzsportsmemorabilia.com. Welcome back, everybody, to the 1987 Supermod. I'm your host, Brad Drake, and this is my AWA save. This is the mothership, everybody. That's right. It is the Dusty Rhodes Professed Mothership. This is the home base. This is where the action started and where we always tend to go back to. And frankly, this is my favorite save to do. So, everybody, we have just finished up Wrestle Rock. We've just finished up our last tour date. So, we have built the new touring schedule. Okay, so here we go. This is going to take place over the next, what is it? I think it's like 12 weeks. Yeah, is how many weeks it ends up being. We hit every one of our towns in the 12 weeks. So we have 4 sets of towns, 3 separate cards. That ends up being 12 weeks. Yes, so 3 months. This will be our tour for the next 3 months in the game world. So we're going to have some roster changes here. And I don't think it's going to break anybody's heart, some of the changes that we're going to make. Ray Stevens is no longer going to be featured as a regular. His skills are declining. He's just not 100% anymore. We'll still use him for spot shows, but that's going to be about it. Same thing with Ali Khan, but it was the same thing for the last tour schedule too. We just used him for spot shows. We are going to let Johnny Rich go. We're going to let the Terrorist go, and we're going to let Tony Anthony go. So the Terrorist and Tony Anthony are ready to have their contracts expired. We are going to manually let Johnny Rich go right now. We just don't have space for these people anymore. There's no reason to keep them on board if we're not going to use them. So we are going to let them go. So Johnny Rich is hereby released, and then the other 2 will also be released. So we'll head back over here. We'll delete them out. So they are now gone. Yes, they are now gone. We'll make our adjustments here. And there's no reason for this all to be yellow anymore. That was strictly for when I was going ahead and planning all this out. Because for those of you that may not have done it before, it is a pain planning all this out. It is a lot of work, a ton of work. But it's a labor of love. So go ahead and put our light heavyweights back on and our ladies back on. And then we can delete this right here, our notes. So there we go. There is our roster for the next 3 months, our active roster. Here, of course, is our inactive roster off to the side. So let's go ahead and give our new tour a rundown, and we'll go over all 3 of our schedules. We're going to have Malia Hosaka and Andy Austin. The Texas Hangmen are going to battle the Top Guns. Nick Kanichki and Eddie Guerrero are going to meet. Dream Machine is going to feed Scott Steiner. Just like the Terrorist did, Dream Machine is now going to do the same thing for Scott Steiner. We are going to keep building Scott Steiner. Steve Olsanowski and Manny Fernandez are going to match up. Iron Sheik and Scott Hall. Bad Company is going to battle Wahoo McDaniel and Baron von Raschke. Of course, Baron von Raschke's skills are also diminishing very fast, but he's still okay and serviceable in tag matches with Wahoo McDaniel. And of course, the headline for this part of the schedule is going to be Tom Zank and Kurt Hennig for the World Heavyweight title. All right, our second card that we're going to run is going to be Reggie Bennett versus Wendy Richter. The Nasty Boys are going to be mixing it up with DJ Peterson and the Trooper. Newcomer, Rick Titan. That's right, Rick Titan is fresh out of training school. He is 18 or 19 years old in the game, and he is going to be battling Cactus Jack around the country. The Zebra Kid, who we brought in, is going to be challenging Steve Regal for the World Light Heavyweight title. Zebra Kid, of course, is a crafty veteran, very good wrestler, and they should put on a good series of matches. Kevin Kelly, Mr. Magnificent Kevin Kelly, is going to face Nick Bockwinkel. They'll be doing the loop together. Ron Simmons and Dick Slater are going to be mixing it up. The Russians and the Midnight Rockers are going to be the tag attraction, and the semi-main for Larry Zbyszko and Greg Gagne, who will be headlining for the World Television title. Now, you're probably asking, why aren't we doing the Midnight Rockers and Midnight Express once again? Well, frankly, we have been doing that in the game for almost a year. These two teams have been battling, and they had two title changes for almost a year. Not to say that those two teams won't meet again, but they need a break, and a 3-month break is a good idea for those two teams. All right, our last card that we're going to be running in this series in the tour is going to be White Panther Jr. and Tommy Jammer. We're going to have the Destruction Crew, which of course is Mike Enos and Wayne Bloom. They're going to be mixing it up with the Guerrero brothers. Despota Montagas is going to be challenging Medusa Michelli around the loop for the World Women's title. Derek Dukes is going to split off from his tag team partner of Tommy Jammer, and he's going to be facing Greg Wojciechowski. Frank the Tank Melson, newcomer, is going to be in the ring with Bobby Duncan. That's going to be a good veteran for Melson to learn from. Doug Summers is going to be in singles action once again for this tour against Bob Backlund. And newcomer Don Morocco is going to be facing Jerry the King Lawler, and we set that up at Wrestle Rock, if you remember correctly. And the headliner for this one is going to be the Fabulous Ones versus the Midnight Express. Now, with that said, we probably will make some tweaks to this. We tend to always do that. Just for right now, this is the way we have it laid out. If I find that Zbyszko and Gagne aren't a solid enough main event, which they should be just fine, I'm sure Morocco and Lawler will be, and we can always move those two over. So if we have to make some changes and some edits, we will. And yeah, it's just another typical tour for us. But this is exciting. It's fun because we get to start the new tour here and see matches that we haven't seen before. And it's a good time. It's a lot of fun. Let's do a title check-in, which is always a good thing to do. So in the game, we are in May of 1988. So we are at 6 months here, almost 7 months for the title reign of Kurt Hennig, which is a very nice title reign, very respectable. And next we have Steve Regal. Steve Regal has been the World Light Heavyweight Champion since February of 88. So he's only had about 3 months as champion. Of course, we know that the Midnight Express have just won the tag title back, and this was just days ago. So Greg Gagne has had that, has had the World Television title here for 6 months now, since he's had it since December, and we are at the end of May, 5 months. So we're heading up on 6 months here shortly. And of course, Medusa Michelli has held that ladies title for just a little bit over a month. So that's the status right now with our titles. Nice little update. Let's take a look at upcoming events. And we are going to be entering June. So we should take a look and see what big events we have coming up. So our next big event is going to be our 28th anniversary show, which is going to be the 4th week in August this year. So yeah, that right there will cap off this tour. By rights, it should do that. And then, of course, the next run will be the Team Challenge Series in October. And, of course, we're going to finish it out this year with Super Class 3. It's going to be held on Tuesday night in December, and that's going to be our first pay-per-view. We're going to try to get a pay-per-view broadcasting deal, and that will be our first pay-per-view. So that's what we're looking at, everybody, for the upcoming for the AWA, and we are doing very well financially. We currently have almost $22 million. We are making a lot of money. We're doing very well. Our merchandise is pulling in over $1 million a month. So we've got things figured out here. We have saved the AWA. The AWA is once again very financially healthy. The problem that we're going to face here is when the WWF starts attempting to steal our wrestlers. We've already lost some wrestlers due to that, such as Sergeant Slaughter to Crockett. So we are going to be facing that as time goes on here. So, but there's nothing we can do. That's how it really was. So all we can try to do is lock down our talent as long as we can and do the best we can. So that's it, everybody. That's what we're looking at. Tomorrow night in the game world, we will have our spot show, and it hasn't been added to the game yet. So we'll have a spot show here actually tonight in the game. We will have a spot show, and then there'll be another spot show on Tuesday, and then we'll be recording Major League Wrestling on Wednesday in the game world. So that's going to do it, everybody, for this one. Thanks once again for tuning in, and we have some exciting stuff coming up here, and I'm glad to have you with us. So if you're new to the channel, and a lot of you are, we have gained a ton of new subscribers lately. Make sure to leave a comment below after you hit that subscribe button and tell us how you found the channel, what you think of us so far, and if you're enjoying things. Also, if you would like version 9 of the Supermod, head on over to braddrake.net. Drop me a line. I'll be more than happy to leave you, send you a link to the database and the picture pack. Also, you can find us on social media, facebook.com/groups/1987supermod. You can also find us over on Reddit with the subreddit of TEW 2020 Friends. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow with our spot show.